Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Break the Apocalypse podcast, Halloween edition, made in YouTube voyage. This is your weekly look at the hellscape that we find ourselves living in forevermore. Happy Halloween. My name is John Draper, and I'm hoping that you have a ghoulish weekend. Shaheen, happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, sir. I'm grateful to be here. Feel much
And
better than last week.
well, we're glad that we're all on this journey together. We got B-Show Brian. Happy Halloween! It used to be your favorite holiday, B-Show.
Happy Halloween, guys. It is more than you know. I'm fucking ecstatic right now.
Well, this is a very special episode, but if you're joining us for the first time, hello. A little program note early in the podcast. You do not get the full episode. Oh, no, 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 no. The only way to get the full unedited episode is by going to patreon.com/break the app. And that'll cost you $5 freaking bucks. $5. Nothing. It's nothing. It's chump change. Gets you nowhere in life. But where it does get you is access to a full year's worth of unedited shows, plus bonus shows consisting of Q&A shows made up exclusively of the Patreon members. We just recorded one tonight. You get 2 a month, and they usually come out in the middle of the month and at the end of the month. And again, these are exclusive Patreon shows, and they're asked by the alumni of the Patreon, which we're going to run off really early here in the show if you're joining us for the first time. People like Victor Guzman and Darren Gatt and Cloudy and JR and Cassette Classics 86 and my buddy Joseph Marr. And then we got Charlie and Tyler Simpson and Ralph Ramirez and John Dunn. Austin Red, Three Lays is with us. Digital Lizard is here. DeLu and DeHouston. My good friend Willie Thompson is with us on this journey. Mike Brown, Joseph Glasgow, Chris Matthews, Jay is here. Steve Shaw, Cherry Jesus, Brandon McIntyre, Stephen Teasdale, Roxy Mike is with us. Kerry Goldberg, Marquise Johns, Jereb92, Sal Phoenix, Ruben is with us. Texas Sal, Cockboy, Anthony Jeter, Mark Gordon, Gary Thorpe, Joe the Purple Haze. Vic Condor is with us. Stello Echoes is here. Danny Douglas, John Hennef. My buddy Ronald Anderson is with us. Paul Stockwell, Justin Ludwig, Adam Bergone, John Garcia, my buddy Anthony Alston, Emmanuel, Fatty316 is here. Terrell Thibodeau is here. My buddy Amy Foley is here. Richard Todd, Leonard Van Doon is here. Jeff Lippman is with us. James Gruesome is here. Cushion Pusher, JB Buff Bell, Daniel Clark, MJW Games, Jarek Braxton, Deliverance, Larry Trailer, Kevin Mathurin, John Krauser, Michael Smith, Christopher Kane, my buddy Randy Shepard, Rivers Johansson, Drew Yari is here, Joe Punches, Jude, Dirk, Matt, Jamie Pennycook is with us. John Bernstein, the wrestling podcast icon, Don Tony is with us. Jared Maloney, Walter Villani. You want to be in this industrious group? You just got to go to patreon.com/break the app. $5, people. That's not a lot of money. That's very little, and you get quite a bit of bang for the old buck. Let's get to some plugs early. Always do the plugs early in the show, in the free portion. We got our friends over at Deathmatch Outlaws. We have our good buddy Drew Yari. By the way, Patreon episode, I think, dropped today, as a matter of fact. As I'm recording this, Cassette Classics 86 is on YouTube. The Down Under Thundercast is on YouTube. Don Tony, big announcement coming up. I don't know anything about it. Some people have asked me, but I know it's huge, so congratulations to him. He's with us as well. Necromaniacs podcast. By the way, you're going to want to check out this episode of Necromaniacs. Their Halloween review is stellar. I listened to it this morning. It just came out today. Check that out. And then our good friends at the Human Experience podcast. Don't forget Ringsiders Wrestling on YouTube, which I will be joining next month for Survivor Series. Motor City Machine Guns. The Garden of Doom. And then we have Off the Mat, Old Guy Metalcast. And of course, funkbetty.com. They have that fall line up right now, fall clothing line. You should check that out. Go. Check it out. MJW Games is with us. Cherry Jesus, my good friend, is on YouTube. Always in my thoughts right there. Red River Podcast. Boy, Sam is putting out some bangers. Check out the Red River Podcast. And his band Playing Dead has some enormous shows coming up. We got the Bayou Geeks with our friends Patty316. The High Marks Podcast. The Midnight Mass Creature Cast. The Weekly Detour with my good friend Anthony Alston. Dr. Doom's Dungeons and Dragon Balls. That's with a Z at the end. Halloween 365 on YouTube. And, of course, Planet Mondo on YouTube and Facebook groups. And don't forget my band, Synthetic 16. We're going to work out this t-shirt thing. It's just so goddamn busy. But the band itself, my band, my album, Too Far Along, and you want to spell out that 16, is available on Apple Music, Bandcamp, and Spotify. It's an album I made 18 years ago, something like that. Yeah, about 18 years ago. Check it out. And then we'll be putting a link up for some T-shirts. We have some lovely T-shirts left over from the show, and we'll also be having a full multi-camera shoot of the Live in Brooklyn, the Goodbye show that happened a few weeks ago that we've been talking about. So for those of you unaware that have been following the show for a long time, this is a big day, right, guys? Because this is our maiden voyage to video on YouTube.
We're becoming YouTube superstars.
YouTube star.
This is a midlife crisis right here.
Absolutely. B-Show, you ready to become a YouTube star?
I am. I've been trying with the horror channel for a while off and on, so whichever one works, I don't give a shit.
I'm tired of people hitting me up on my YouTube channel like, oh, you haven't uploaded in 2 months. What the fuck is this? I'm like, well, now you're going to get a weekly show. Leave me alone.
Yes. I think we'll be putting it out live. Obviously, the show itself gets edited. So, but we will be putting the free portion of the show, right, B-Show? Is that how that's going to work?
Free portion will be video. I will have a video for the whole portion with my schedule. Excuse me, in the next 12 hours. I don't know when I'll get the video up for patrons only.
Yeah, it's a maiden voyage. It's a maiden voyage. It's a first time. We're first timers here. We're first timers.
Work in progress. Bear with us, you know.
It's a work in progress. I promise I will have a different cardigan on every week for you. That is my promise to you. I will alternate cardigans. So this is cardigan 1. It's sort of a dark blue. I don't know how I feel about the YouTube thing. I never go on YouTube. I've told you guys this before. I never go on YouTube. I just don't, there's nothing really there. Like, I don't know, but I guess now that we're there, I have to go on YouTube. Is that how that's going to work?
I guess. Like, my goal is to be that one dude, Malfunction, who does like all of the horror movie clips, and he works for like the video release company, does documentaries, and he's friends with all the horror movie people. So if I get half of that, I'm fine. I don't care.
Well, let's see how it goes, people. We'll see how it goes. So if you're joining us, on the regular, now you can check out what the hell's going on. But I'm burping a lot. Sorry. I usually don't burp this early in the show. I just want to let you know. I'm drinking a lot of carbonated water. So before we get started, we have a lot to get to. This is a busy week. It is Halloween. It's a Halloween edition. We're going to have a lot of Halloween shit we're going to discuss. But I have a personal thing I want to mention. Last week, I got some news that a friend of mine that I had known for many years that I had lost contact with had passed away. This is a good friend of mine, my friend John Murrin. John was someone that I met in the late 90s who was a fan of my band Tony Stark in like the mid to late 90s. And he worked for CMJ, which is College Music Journal. He also wrote for some magazines at that point, and he did music reviews. And he was a fucking awesome guy. He was a very good friend to me at a time where there was a lot going on in my life musically, where I was really, really dedicated and I was pushing myself really hard to have a music career. And John was a staunch ally and a strong advocate for people that made music that he liked. And we became very, very good friends. And when Synthetic 16 started from that band, he was there on the front line with us, helping us out, pushing us along. And when I had heard he passed away, it occurred to me that I hadn't seen him in a long time or spoke to him in a really, really long time. And he was a very, very important person to me at a point in my life, which was a really exciting period of my life. So I wanted to acknowledge John and my sympathies to his really good friends and his family. He was a school teacher. I want to talk a minute about my friend because he was such a unique person. He looked like a juggalo. I mean, he was a Irish kid from the Bronx who only wore FUBU and Carl Kanai clothes. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything that wasn't FUBU or Carl Kanai. And he was a big, heavy dude. He looked like a face puncher, but he wasn't that guy. He was just, he was kind of like a really smart, like introspective, esoteric person who liked a lot of diverse music and was a really good writer. And it's been hard knowing that I didn't get to talk to him for all this time. But without bringing the whole mood down, one of the things that this is tough, man. But one of the things that's really, really hard is that like many people in my life, John was a big guy. Like he was a very heavy guy, and he was always like a overweight guy. And I'd seen pictures of him in the last couple of years, a couple of pictures of him. It looked like he got pretty big, and it led to his health problems, which led to his early death. And I'm just gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say this to you as John Scodato. Um, Please take better care of yourself, people. Honest to God, man. I mean, there's just so many of you that are not recognizing what you're doing to your body, not recognizing that you have bad habits. For the love of whatever you believe in, if not for yourself, for the people around you, take some inventory in your health, man. Because my people are dropping like fucking flies, yo. I mean, my friends are dying. And I'm not talking about like cancer, I'm talking about preventative things. Um, Please, man, please, please, in all seriousness, take some inventory of your health. Take some inventory of what you're putting in your body. Take some inventory if you've been diagnosed with things like early diabetes or heart condition or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. I am telling you, man, I've been on two sides of this coin. I've been almost 300 pounds. I've been 170 pounds. And I can tell you emphatically, as a person, as a real fucking dude, your life is better if you are healthier. And I'm not saying that you should just fucking throw all caution to the wind and tomorrow, just, start doing CrossFit in the middle of the night and buying kettlebells and fucking, running up the steps like Rocky and shit. But let's be honest. Some of you got some bad habits, man. You got some bad habits. And those habits, as you get older, you might not realize it. It's coming to that point. And and you know what? Honestly, man, I did it. If I did it, you could do it. Honestly, and I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm saying this because I'm tired of getting messages like this from people. My friend should not be dead. My friend was a couple years younger than me. I think he's about 48. 48-year-old guy found in his apartment after being passed away alone because he died and no one knew he died. And his students, because he was a fucking school teacher, were worried about him. And people noticed that he didn't go to school and that he didn't show up. And that's how they found my friend like that, man. And that man did not deserve that. That man did not deserve that at all. And no one does. But my man did not deserve that. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see so many people not give a fuck about their health as if there's no consequence to it. When I know so many people that have already paid the ultimate price for that. So, in all seriousness, with sincerity, with the most sincerity, man, please take some inventory of your life. I like getting fucked up. I like eating fucked up shit. I like candy. I like fucking whatever the fuck. I the priority in my life is my health. Is my physical health. My mental health is in the fucking toilet because I'm just done. But my physical health is doing pretty good. Okay. And if you're listening to this and this is like something that you struggle with, in all seriousness, hit me up. I have never betrayed a confidence in anybody when it comes to anything like this in my life, and I will continue that because I know how hard that shit is. I mean, you know, and you guys know, like like this is a serious thing for me. Like, it is like it's a serious thing. I'm not saying that you got to go vegan and fucking, throw all your shit out and fucking, but I'm just saying take some steps. You know what I mean? Like baby step that shit. Take some baby steps. Maybe cut out soda for a couple weeks and see how you feel. Maybe cut out candy. Maybe cut out, a bread for a couple of days. Maybe walk instead of take the train, like for a couple of train stops. I don't know, whatever you got to do. But I'm begging you, please. It's not a joke. I'm not kidding in the slightest. I am so tired of these calls, man. I am so tired of it. And I'm not talking about finding out you have cancer or finding out you have some disease that was non-preventative or getting hit by a bus or fucking aliens fucking kidnapping you. I'm talking about living your life in a bad habit after bad habit and then becoming a certain age and then they start cutting toes off your fucking foot. You know what I'm saying? Now, Shah, you're on this path to righteousness already, but you know what I'm talking about. Don't you feel, seriously, and you're a lot younger, but don't you feel so much better?
Yeah, I feel completely different. Like again, when I started talking about this 2 weeks ago, I had a bunch of people that hit me up that were like, dude, I'm going to start incorporating water. That's like, and that's another reason I like kind of sharing like my new journey with people. Cause it's good for me. Cause I get to vent and I feel comfortable in front of this fucking thing, the microphone. Cause like I've done this for almost a decade now, like 7-8 years straight.
Damn.
So this is like my comfort zone, you know, this is like almost therapy for me. But at the same time, I really enjoy that. Like a lot of people are taking away things from this. Even last week, I got super personal. I had like 20 people hit me up like, dude, I really appreciate you sharing that because like I kind of am going through the same shit or something similar, or I've been through the same thing.
Yeah.
A million people hit me up, man. And I appreciate that. Everybody that's listening out there. I mean, that's great, man. And again, don't do necessarily what I'm doing. I think I'm taking on a lot. I'm fine with it right now. Like it doesn't bother me, but John's right. Like take it one step at a time. The only reason I'm taking like 20 things at once is because like mentally I've been pushed so low that like, this is like a very, I don't know, it's a life-changing moment for me. And I feel like I can take on all that, but that doesn't mean everybody should do that. I think one step at a time
Absolutely.
is a lot healthier. You know?
Right. Yeah. But, yeah. Right. What don't you think so too, Bisho? Like I would never want someone to just feel like, I guess tomorrow I'm going to throw out my booze, my cigarettes and all my food. And I'm just not going to eat. And I'm just going to run like 10 miles a day. And then I'm going to drop dead from that. You know what I'm talking about?
Don't overwhelm yourself either. Like, dude, I met one of my female friends. She used to date one of my friends named Caleb. And I haven't seen her for like 10 years, you know, and she found out I was going to Temple. So she hit me up on Instagram and she was like, hey, if you need a tour, like
now for those of you confused, he doesn't mean going to Temple like in the Jewish faith as we say. Right. No. He's talking about Temple University in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Because when someone says I'm going to Temple, for a lot of us, that means something completely different than a major university.
Yeah, definitely not a gentleman named Shaheen. It's not going to the Temple.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, fair enough. But like she saw me and she was like, holy shit, dude, you look younger than you did the last time I saw you. And last time I saw you, you were like 23. She was like, you look brighter, like your skin is clear. I was like, I never drank water. I feel
silly. Yeah, he just discovered water like fucking 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and now I'm sitting here with a fucking jug of this shit, you know? And
this morning he called me and Bisho and was like, what is this thing? I go, what, fire? He goes, yeah, fire. What is that? What do you do with that? I'm like, wait, you didn't know about, he doesn't know about any natural elements, guys.
I'm like a caveman, man. I'm coming out the cave.
You should see him when the wind blows. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
So, I mean, I don't know. I felt really happy because like she hasn't seen me for 10 fucking years, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, dude, you look better than you did at 23. Like
you look great.
34. That's amazing. You have great genetics. You should take care of that. Cause like, you're probably going to be 50 and look the same. Like you should do this. So I don't know, man. A lot of people will notice differences that'll kind of keep pushing you.
Yeah. And it's inspiring. It encourages people.
Dude, like I don't wear shirts like this. This is a large. I don't fit these fucking shirts anymore. So what I have
you gotta get mediums.
Swims. Yeah, I like swim in this shit now. So I have to wear like mediums. So I'm just turning all my shirts into these. And like
this guy was wearing a muumuu 3 weeks ago.
And that feels amazing. Yeah, that feels amazing. That I'm like, oh shit, a large is way too big for me now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know, man. You'll find little mini accomplishments along your path, and that'll kind of keep pushing you, man. You know, and you'll feel better, man. I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. now. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I fall asleep at like fucking 10, 11 p.m. I used to stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. I used to wake up afternoon. Like who gives a shit? I had no schedule. Like now I'm on it like that. And once you do it for a couple of weeks, man, it's second nature. I don't even think about it. You know what I mean?
Well, you guys like you and B-Show the same age. Like B-Show, you don't have any friends dropping dead of heart attack. Like there's no chance, right? I mean,
no,
overdoses.
But I did have. I knew 2 people. Yeah, it wasn't drug related.
Yeah. I'm talking about like just negligent health. I'm not talking about drug problem. I'm not talking about cancer. You know what I'm saying?
No, I had one friend who was a little younger than me that had a heart attack, and he's a bigger guy, but it was because he had like a family defect they never knew about.
Oh, wow.
And then they went back and checked everyone else in the family, and everyone else in the family that they checked had it too. The other one was another friend of mine who's about 5 years older than me. She had a stroke about 2 years ago.
I think you mentioned this person before.
Yeah. But Other than that, no. I mean, there's been a couple fluke issues, but like, look at me. I mean, before I went to Brooklyn, I was like, man, I look like shit. I'm gonna go meet a whole bunch of people that I never met in person before. And like, I didn't go crazy, but I was just kind of watching what I was eating, and I lost like 6, 7 pounds.
Damn.
In fact, when I came home, I recorded Monday night just because I was up and couldn't sleep. I recorded like a review of the Halloween franchise, like ranking shit, and I wore the Necromaniacs t-shirt your brother gave me, which was an extra large. And I'm like, damn, dude, I went from 2X to XL. I'm feeling
Nice.
really good. But then last night I fell asleep with a fucking bowl of cereal in my lap. So it's like that's
What kind of cereal? What kind of cereal are we talking about here, Bisha?
the frosted wheat shit.
That doesn't seem terribly unhealthy. Like,
No, but it was like 11:30 at night while I'm watching Dracula. I mean, come,
that sounds like fun to me. That sounds like a good time, actually.
You know what else I've noticed though? I'm sorry, go ahead. I thought you
I was just gonna say, but that's my thing is not only like when I'm under stress, I stress eat, and I don't smoke anymore, except if I'm in Brooklyn and had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
I don't drink that much anymore unless it's a special occasion. I don't have many vices. Food is like my last addiction.
Right.
So especially like we've been really balls to the wall with my shoot job right now.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to eat good. Jessica's like trying to pack me little shit to make me, eat healthy, but then I just get that craving for a root beer and a fucking quarter pounder. And it's like that
sounds
shit.
lovely.
It's awesome, but it fucking kills me and I swell up like a fucking balloon. But I mean, that's it. The biggest thing I can say, like John said, don't go fucking nuts.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Is like I'll be running every day and I'll be like eating nothing and I feel like shit and I'm miserable and then my knees start fucking going because I'm running and I'm not used to it and my feet are all fucked up.
Yeah, do low impact shit, dude. I mean, but the thing is, you have to see your enemy is time.
Yeah,
that's your enemy. Your enemy is actually time. Right? Like, I just happen to be in a circumstance where I could keep up my shit, and Shaheen happens to be in a circumstance where he can keep up some shit. When Shaheen goes back to school and I go back to my bullshit, different story. Then it's a different challenge. Then it becomes a different set of rules and a different set of fucking obstacles to overcome.
Yeah, but
right?
you were also disciplined enough to be getting up at 4 a.m. to make sure you got your 2-hour run and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Always. Like even today, I was super busy today, but I made sure, like that sets the tone for the day in this house for me. That and my kale shake, right? And don't look. And let me be crystal clear here. Last Saturday night, I ate to the point of sickness because I was so fucked up. I ate like 2 different things of cereal. I had 2 candy bars. I opened up 2 bags of chips. And I had a big dinner. I just was fucking high as fuck. And I was eating Frankenberry and Blueberry. And like, I ate a candy bar and a half, maybe like 2 candy bars. I'm not even joking. And the next day I was sick to death, like violently ill. And I didn't eat the whole day until till dinner time. Right? Because my body was like, hey, what are you doing, asshole? Like, this is fucking crazy. Can't you just have the weed and like not do that? So if it gets to the point where this becomes a thing where it's like you just power eating too much, I'll probably slow down on the weed or I won't do it on an empty stomach. See, the thing is, I know if I do it on an empty stomach, I'm going to be Frank the Tank. Like, and I'm going for full Frank the Tankness right here.
Yo, and that's like another thing, dude. If you steer away from unhealthy foods and you go back to it, like I hadn't had fast food for close to 5 weeks. Wow. I had Chick-fil-A the other day and I was like treating myself. I was like, I deserve it. It's been over a month. I haven't had anything.
Treat yourself.
I'm eating like fucking kale salads every night and like bananas for snacks and stuff like I'm actually eating like healthy. So I was like, fuck it. Let me treat myself. So I went there and I got a Chick-fil-A sandwich and I couldn't finish it. And like when I went home, I immediately threw it up. Like my body just could not process that.
I was so, like, honest to God, I was so sick. And my wife wasn't here. My wife slept out. That's what it was. My wife had a work thing for her business. So she was at a conference and the kid went to the movies, went to her drive-in. This kid came home at like 11:30. I was watching The Wire, I think, or some shit. And I was literally like, I was done. I was like Brad Pitt in True Romance. Like the Floyd on the couch, and she comes in with the boyfriend, and like they're talking. She like wants to show like she cleaned her room or whatever, and I was like, all right, let's wrap this up. Like, come on, because I want them out because I'm so inhibited that I'm fucked up in front of them. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, and I got bags of food open. Like, dude, I had like fucking buffalo pretzels, buffalo sauce pretzels. Like, I'm not even joking. That next day, dude, you would have thought I was dying. You would have thought I had to go to the hospital. I was completely dehydrated. I was so sick. I mean, I was completely sick because I ate all this shit. So what I'm thinking is I might either switch up the booze a little bit because when I'm drinking a lot, I don't want to eat. I don't know about you guys. When I drink a lot, I don't want to eat. Do you guys eat? Like, if you guys put a lot of booze in you, do you guys eat?
I mean, I don't really drink, so I don't.
Bisha, what about you? See, I think are you a drinker that eats?
Sometimes I'll get a sweet tooth. Like I was a dude at parties who would break into like my friend's mom always had cookies, and I was like, oh, like grab cookies and milk if I got hammered. But
Oh,
like
milk after drinking sounds like,
it's
oh
it's
god,
terrible. It is terrible.
oh,
But like,
It's a
but no,
horrible
like
combination,
I know.
dude.
oh
I know.
god,
we were
Dairy
at
and
milk after
alcohol?
like drinking beer and shit. It's like let's get some
Yeah.
milk.
we were at a New Year's party. I think I was 20.
Drink from a cow's dick.
I was 20 at a New Year's party at my buddy's house, and I was hammered, drinking High Life all night, and then I found like
Ugh.
the rainbow M&M fucking sugar cookies.
Oh god,
Oh, it
throw
was
up.
great.
Dude, you're making
It
me
was-
sick right now. I
Oh,
really feel
God.
sick to my stomach.
But no,
Jesus.
like I don't even like if we go and get a
Gross.
nice steak, I won't even drink a beer with a steak because of my reflux. Like it just makes me sick.
Yeah, I
So,
I would
no.
like to do one or the other. Like, but the thing is, I don't power drink really. I don't power drink. I have 3 beers. I have 3 beers. I have three. I have 3 beers and either a glass of wine, or I have 3 beers and then I'll have an old fashioned. Like that's what I'll do. So I'm not now. I could drink 8 times more, but I don't because I know I'm going to be eating and I'm high as fuck. So it's just like I'm so fucked up. I'm so fucked up. So I don't know. This Saturday, I don't because it's Halloween weekend. I have a feeling. I'm a feeling we're going to be doing some stuff. But yeah, man. Look, Shaheen is like transformed his life primarily by taking out bad habits, right?
Well, I mean, I had no choice really. Like people think like this lifestyle change came because of like, stress and stuff like it's all a coincidence. Like I literally had to start walking and drinking because
Yo,
of the
dude, but
kidney
it doesn't
stone.
matter. It doesn't matter how you get there. It's how you
Yeah,
got.
I know.
there.
I'm just
You know what
saying, like I'm doing a lot at once, but it's not because I have a choice. It's because they
Right.
told me like, yo, you got to pass this. And now that I do it, I feel better. So like, I'm just gonna keep it going.
Which,
There's
by
no
the way,
reason.
you probably got that stone. I mean, I don't know a lot about kidney stones, but is that from bad eating habits? It seems like that would be a byproduct of eating shit.
Well, it's definitely a possibility, and I'm sure
Yeah.
not drinking water for years probably didn't help.
Well, you didn't know what water was. I mean,
I
that's the whole
didn't.
thing.
I
Like, you
didn't.
didn't even know that we had a like.
I
You
had
didn't know
no
what.
idea which molecules.
Dude, he took a
combination.
video. I was like, "What's this?" And he showed me the sink. I go, "The sink," and he goes, "No, but what's coming out of it?" I go, "Dude, that's water. You're supposed to use that." And he was like, he was making pasta with Mountain Dew. He didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Is that why he used to wash his dishes in the backyard because he didn't know what the fucking faucet was for?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's classic. Holy shit. I can't believe I was doing that.
Yeah, that's amazing shit right there.
I love the
But,
fact that my neighbors thought I was crazy for like 6 months. There's like, why the fuck is this dude washing his dishes
I
on
can
his
only imagine.
deck?
I can only imagine that scene. But look, he's drinking water now. He's
Not
he's
smoking weed.
not
I'm-
smoking
I'm-
weed every 5 seconds. You
No, I mean,
know.
I haven't. I just don't anymore, bro. Look,
Good for
look
you,
my
man.
fucking
Proud of
eyes,
you.
man. Look how white my eyes are. This
I know
has never
it's like
happened to me.
you're physically a completely
The
different person.
fuck? It's crazy.
Physically a completely different person.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know?
different.
Yeah, well, good for you. So it's Halloween weekend, and I'm sure a lot of people will be out. Fortunately, Halloween's on a Sunday, but you get that partying in Saturday night. You get to go out Saturday night. You get the Halloween parties and this and that. I don't do any of that stuff, but I mean, I just wouldn't. But Halloween, the movie. We are now in a circumstance where all three of us have seen Halloween Kills. Some of us may have seen it more than once. Now, I should point out that my brother Mike on the Necromaniacs podcast, they did a complete takedown of Halloween today. That was fascinating. That was quite good. So if you haven't checked out their show yet, if you're a horror enthusiast, you really need to be checking out the Necromaniacs podcast. This was a very, very good episode for sure. I listened to the whole thing early this morning on my run, and I got really into it. I got really, really into it because apparently this Halloween Kills vibe that has been going around, which we're going to discuss now. So if you haven't seen it, apologies, but it's been out for a couple weeks, so I feel like it's safe. It's safe to discuss. Wow, where do we begin? B Show, Halloween, is that your favorite franchise? Like
For
of
sure.
all
That is a
time?
yes.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, he had to think about it, but
No, we're on YouTube. I was holding up the Samuel Loomis fucking
oh,
lager shirt.
okay. Well,
Sorry.
I'm just trying to. Now I know I'm a huge fan of the OG. I like the Rob Zombie first one quite a bit. I actually am a very very big fan of Halloween. And Shaheen, you are too, right?
Not really. No. I mean,
But
I
you're
like the
but you're a
first one,
horror
but I
fan,
don't. Yeah, I'm a horror fan. I just don't like slashers. I mean, I like the
okay?
first one. I appreciate it for what it is, but it's
Right.
not.
The first one, the was it 1978, whatever. Just epic movie. Just maybe one of the greatest horror films of all time. It really a genre starter in a lot of ways. Obviously, it was rebooted by Rob Zombie. There's a lot of people that have varying opinions of that. I actually find that to be quite good. I didn't like the second one that much. I didn't quite understand some of the choices as usual. The sequels to Halloween get pretty bad. You know, pretty bad. Especially H2O, I think is laughable on a lot of levels. But I'm a fan of the franchise. I've seen them all and I support all of them in some varying degrees. So when Halloween got rebooted in 2018, what's the director's name?
David Gordon Green.
David Gordon Green, who was known really made his bones doing indie movies, but also working with Danny McBride and being a partner of him and that guy Jody, whatever the fuck his name is, I forget his name. Jody Hill, I think his name might be. Um, when they announced that these are the guys rebooting it, there are a lot of people like, oh, this could be big or this could be terrible. I went back and saw what I wrote about Halloween in 2018 because it came out literally almost 3 years ago to the date, like 2 weeks ago. And I said I liked it, but it felt like it was missing something. Like I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know what I was expecting, but it didn't really live up to my full expectations, but I liked it. But then I watched it a couple of times since that, and I got more into it, and I got very excited. And last year around this time was when Halloween Kills was supposed to come out, but COVID stopped it. And they refused to put it on free TV for a while, which is funny because then it ends up on fucking free TV anyway, if you have the Peacock network. So there was a lot of heat on this. Wouldn't you guys say this was probably one of the more anticipated movies of the year for sure?
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, just
Yeah.
judging by the gate, I mean, it did 50+ million like first week.
With
So, I
COVID,
mean,
yeah, and it was on TV and it did 50, 60 million.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that Halloween 2018 did 100 million in its theatrical run in the US, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it was
think
a big
I'd say-
movie. Yeah. And I think this cost about 20 mil. I think the first one cost about the same, roughly, maybe a little more, but profitable in every way. Well received. I thought people were excited to see where this was going. And then we get Halloween Kills. Now, again, if you haven't seen it, we gave you a couple weeks here. I'm just gonna say this: the movie for me is very confusing. The choices are very odd. And I feel like halfway through the movie, it takes a very bad turn and it doubles down on that turn. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they made these decisions. And I found myself checking out at the halfway point of the film, even though I was fully engaged in the brutality of it and fully engaged like the graphic brutality, and the fucking music is so fucking good. I mean, Jesus Christ, the score is amazing. The score is amazing. The score is amazing. For me, the movie takes a turn when they have the hospital scene. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically it's going to sound so even stupider than it is. They think Michael Myers is a different person, an escaped lunatic in the hospital who escaped with him on the bus in the first movie. And he's not, and they think it's Michael Myers. Now, the funny thing is, Michael Myers is established a tall, thin man, and this is a short, fat guy, isn't it? The mental guy?
Yeah. He almost looked like the Penguin from fucking
Looked like the
Batman
Penguin.
Returns.
He
Yeah.
looked like the Danny DeVito Penguin. So it would be like
That's literally what I said to Joe. It's
Yeah.
literally what I said to Joe the other day. I was like, dude, this is like Danny DeVito, and they thought it was Michael Myers.
no, they didn't even like the thing. Now, okay, so there's so many things to talk about here, but this is where I checked out, meant like psychologically, and I got one on my phone, and then I just really never got back in. they no-sold that a little too easily. That was almost like a wrestling thing where you don't know the guy's standing behind you, even though the whole crowd of 20,000 people is telling you there's somebody behind you, but you're not listening. They could have handled that a lot better. The dialogue from that point on, I mean, just like it was written by a child. Anthony Michael Hall, how did he get this job? I just don't even know how that made it to print. Bad acting with bad dialogue, and then it just creams you over the head with bad acting and bad dialogue. I'm disappointed in the movie thoroughly, but I appreciate the brutality of it because I don't know that you're going to see a mainstream horror film in a movie theater like this again in terms of the brutality. B-Show, you live and breathe Halloween, the franchise. Tell me your thoughts, your detailed thoughts.
I wasn't expecting a whole lot because I wasn't super bowled over by fucking 2018 either. And I've watched it since then. It's okay. I feel like this one, the reason I like this one and everything you said is valid. I liked what they tried to do with the mob mentality thing. Because I picked up vibes from John Carpenter pitched a Halloween 4. I'm not going to get into it, but it was after Michael died, the town's anger and the town's fear and the town's, I guess, attitude was kind of keeping the evil of Michael alive. And it was about how towns are affected or mob mentality or how grief affects like an entire populace of people. So I kind of picked up some parallels there. I liked that they did that. The thing I really liked about the movie, other than the brutality and getting past the bad dialogue and the bad parts of the story, they were able to, in this film, do what none of the sequels have been able to do since the original. They were able to expand or expound upon his motivation without taking away from it. And I think the thing I liked most about it was Lonnie Elam summed it up so evenly. It was he creeps, he kills, he goes home. He's a 6-year-old with a body of a man and the mind of an animal. He's just insane. And they kicked up the mythos and they kept saying the Hollywood boogeyman or the Haddonfield boogeyman.
Right.
And even though the town beat the fuck out of him in like a beating circle, everyone, like even Sheriff Brackett, fucking 90 years old, is beating the shit. There's pitchforks in his back. He gets up and he fucking kills them all. And the lesson was the evil is begetting evil. It's this cycle of violence and anger, which is he's growing stronger every time they do this. So that's what I loved about it. And I think I liked that so much. Plus the opening scene when they went back to Halloween 78, they nailed so much on that with the mask and the way the dude moved. I really liked that, except for the fucking close up of the imposter Loomis. But like, I think if it would have just been that flashback to 78, I would have been fine with it. But then I liked the way they treated the mythos of the movie because it's not a sister, it's not a family, a curse. It's not because he's white trash. He is this abstract, like he's a man, but he's like the physical embodiment of evil as a force of nature. So I liked how they did that and treated that. Everything in between, I don't know, it wasn't so hot.
Shaheen, your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
It was mediocre at best, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I really enjoyed the 2018 one. I saw that in the theater. I saw this one at the theater too. And the first half, I really liked it, man. Once they started incorporating 1,500 people into trying to kill him, I'm like, dude, this is overdosing on too many characters. And again, that Danny DeVito part, like that killed me, dude.
Danny DeVito part.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy's like 5'2". Why would they think this is Michael Myers? Like,
why didn't they think it was Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, like Michael Myers is humongous. Like he looks. Yeah, like
he's a giant, thin giant in a jumpsuit and a mask.
Right. This guy is a fat midget. Like what the? You couldn't find anybody that looked more closer to the actual Michael Myers. Once I saw that, man, I really started tuning out. And the girl that I saw it with, like, she had never seen a Halloween in her life. So like I have to like explain everything. And that kind of took me out.
Oh, that must have been fun.
I was like, how have you never seen Halloween? You're a year older than me. Like, it's not even like you're like 20. Where
that must have been fun.
It's very odd. Oh, I got to tell you this. This is hilarious. So I asked her, I was like, when's the last time you've been to the movie theater? And she's like, oh, I think like 2016 or 2017. I was like, really? Why? She's like, well, the whole pandemic thing kind of threw everything off. And I'm like, you do realize the pandemic started last year, right? Like 2017 is way before
Wait,
the
people are
pandemic.
using people are backdating the pandemic.
She straight up got caught. She was like, you know what? You're right. You caught me. I was like, yeah, just say you haven't been to the movie theater. Like the pandemic was last year, girl. It's not like,
People are backdating the pandemic.
yeah, it's totally a thing. It's apparently happening.
Is that's a thing? Like you could say, well, in 2014, the pandemic really slowed me down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, with time, it's just going to be an excuse for people to just be like, oh, yeah, the pandemic, throw shit off. It's the
Wow.
pandemic.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
do
I
have a
told her, I was like,
question,
that's
though.
my favorite quote of the week. You trying to convince me that the pandemic started
It's not
in
me. It's the
2017.
pandemic.
Yeah, like what, dude? No.
It's not
So,
me. It's the
As
pandemic.
someone who'd never seen a Halloween film before, what did she think of it?
She thought it was all right. Like she didn't, I don't know. I don't think she cared for it really either way. She was like falling asleep in there. I'm like, dude,
Wow.
get your ass up, man.
Well, maybe that was the roofies.
No, believe me, there was no roofies. I
You roofied
couldn't-
the popcorn.
No. I don't know, man. I still, I'm still testing the waters out. I still don't feel super comfortable with certain,
Well,
Again.
I mean, there's nothing romantic about going to see Halloween Kills. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but that's, I wanted to see that.
Now, are you guys surprised with how polarizing it seems to be? It seems like there was constant articles about how the movie is gross and that it's homophobic and that it's so hyper violent and that the mob mentality, like it seems that whatever they were trying to get across failed. Failed. I do want to touch on the homophobia thing because I think it's very strange. First and foremost, Haddonfield is the most progressive city in the Midwest, maybe of all time. I mean, like, has there ever been a more progressive city than Haddonfield? I mean, you've got all walks of life living in this middle class conclave. You know what I mean? But the thing that's interesting, first of all, Michael Myers kills like 100 fucking people in this movie. I mean, unbelievable. The first movie is predicated on him killing 3 people. He kills like 16 people in 5 minutes in this movie. I mean, he just goes on a spree of murder. He kills every walk of life. He kills children. He kills interracial senior citizens. He kills affluent gay couples.
Firefighters.
Firefighters, police. I'm sure he killed cops. I mean, he just kills he kills everybody. I mean, it really fits the title because he kills everybody. The homophobia thing is a weird flex to me because of all the characters in the movie, I found Big John and Little John to be 2 of the more endearing characters. They bought the Michael. Basically, for those that didn't see it, they have a middle-aged, affluent gay couple that's getting high and watching like John Cassavetes movies and shit on Halloween night and fucking with kids. They bought Mike the Myers home. They live in the Myers home and turned it into this really nice house. And, obviously the murder's 40 years later, so it's not like, apparently you can't kill them. I don't understand. Like, you can kill children. You can kill the black couple. You can kill the senior citizen interracial couple. You can kill women. You can kill senior citizens. But you can't kill the affluent gay couple. Like what was supposed to happen in that scene? Like, I don't understand.
Imagine if they were fat.
Oh.
I thought they were the
Fat
more
and gay.
endearing. They were the more endearing people. I thought they were because you didn't want them to die. They seemed like nice. They seemed
At
like a nice couple.
At first, it was kind of annoying because, one, it's hard for me not to see Michael McDonald as fucking Stewart from Mad TV, and there was memes going up as soon as the movie came out about that. But no, you're right. It was actually, there were certain parts of the movie that they really got right, and that was one of them. And they almost reminded me of, was it Live and Let Die, Mr. Kint and Mr. Wind?
Maybe I haven't seen it in a long time.
It was like it wasn't, they didn't come out with it, but it was a gay couple.
Right.
It was a couple of assassins.
Right.
And almost the way they interacted reminded me of them because, Big John, Little John.
Right.
And I was surprised by Michael McDonald because he showed that he actually could show, fear and vulnerability and not just be a goof on Mad TV. So they were a really good couple, but like it's not like they did anything homophobic, like finding their stash of dildos or their cowboy outfits and like stuff that some fucking hack comedian in the 80s would do about a gay couple. They
Yeah.
treated them like they were an affluent couple, whether they were gay or
Yeah,
not.
they were. Yeah, and they were definitely affluent. I mean, they had a gorgeous fucking house. They had weed and shit. And they were watching. Dude, they were getting high and watching John Cassavetes movies on Halloween night.
I
Sounds
wanted to
fucking-
move in. It looked like fun.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking dope house. And then like even like and I don't understand like. The homophobia thing is such a bizarre flex for this movie. It's like Michael Myers killed children in a playground like 10 minutes earlier. Like, and he's killing everybody. He killed senior citizen. Dude, he tested knives out on a senior citizen's back in front of his bleeding out wife.
That was one of the coolest kills.
That
of
was
the whole
pretty
movie.
badass.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass. It's just, do you think they wanted it to be like a progressive horror movie and it just failed? I don't know. Like, we'll never really know, right?
I think so. I mean, you're seeing more progressive horror movies than like conservative ones. I mean, I look at Candyman, everything else that's come out. Really, it's pretty pretty progressive. Even like them killing the cops and stuff, dude. I don't think that's a coincidence. You saw Saw. I mean,
yeah, that's true. I forgot about
Saw.
Saw. I forgot about Saw. Actually,
Yeah.
I forgot about Saw. I mean, the Candyman. But to segue to the Candyman thing, if that's an issue for people, that is a huge part of the story, though.
That is the story. It's literally
that
the
people
story.
in authority are using racism to murder black people. So how do you not tell that story and incorporate that in a modern setting? Michael Myers killed, I honestly don't know the number. It might be 3 figures of murder, of graphic murder.
I think they keep track. They say it somewhere toward like the 60% mark, like through the movie. Yeah, they're like,
Holy
how many
shit.
dead? Yeah, they're like, how many dead? And they're like, oh, it's like 17 or some shit. Yeah.
But it is a smorgasbord of death.
It's everybody.
It's
like,
everybody.
Yes, it's like they bring back all these characters, like Marion Chambers, the nurse. They bring back the fucking girl who was babysat by Annie the first night.
Yeah, which I didn't know that was the same actress because she's a meme. And I told my brother, was like, my brother's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't know that's real. I was like, dude, she's a fucking meme from Real Housewives. It's infinitely worldly bigger than any scene in Halloween.
Yeah.
It's
funny. You mentioned forced political stuff. I didn't think the town thing, the mob mentality was too forced because it kind of, again, having read other scripts by Carpenter, it kind of makes sense in how he would tell the story. So I kind of got that. The thing I didn't get was back in 78 when the dude got shot and they walk up and say, well, we're just going to say this is an accident, right? You can just tell us, trust us, because you know how this is going to go. Like, to force the whole police brutality thing in that situation, that to me seemed really fucking forced. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, that kind of went over my head, to be honest with you, because everything, I mean, he had just shot the dude in the neck from Snow Hollow, Wolf of Snow Hollow. I like that guy, Jim Powers. I think he's funny. A lot of people don't like him, but I like him. Honestly, this Jamie Lee Curtis spending the whole movie in a hospital gown, never leaving the hospital. Who would have thought that was a move in the fucking movie? Like, honestly, it's just, here's what I thought the movie was going to be. I'm going to just tell you what I thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to go to the hospital and this was going to be like Halloween 2. That's what I actually thought. I thought he was going to go to the hospital and this was going to be like Halloween 2. And why didn't they have police at the old Myers house once the murders started in the first movie, right? That's kind of a weird thing. There's a lot of weird things. The choices are strange. And by the way, Evil Dies Tonight. Oh, for the love of God, did they make a huge mistake with that? That was
they only mentioned that 75 times in the movie.
I know.
Yeah. They made a huge mistake with that. That would have been cool to say once. Not every 5 minutes. Everybody's saying, like the dead people are saying, like, Evil Dies Tonight with the fucking heads cut off.
Yeah, the fucking Silver Shamrock kid. Like, Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, like, Evil Dies Tonight.
It's really surprising that Carpenter signed off on this because being a fan of his and hearing a lot, I know. But like hearing a lot of his comments, he is huge on eliminating redundancy. Like if you can show it, don't say it. Like if you've already said it, don't say it again unless it means something. It's always with impact. So for it to be just overkill, like Evil Dies Tonight, Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, every 5 seconds.
I can't believe he signed off on this. But I also
And the irony is evil thrived tonight is what should have been the thing. Evil thrived. Evil had the comeback of the century. He killed more people in this movie than like 5 movies. Evil thrives tonight.
I think the police in there had to be some of the worst actors out there, man. I mean, I couldn't believe they gave them scripts and this is what they came up with.
Well, the old guy is like really old. That old guy.
No, I'm
from
talking about the
first-
younger ones. You know, when they had like a gang of younger cops, they were awful.
Yeah, there's some bad. You know what's funny? This movie cost 20 million, and I'm like, for a horror movie, that's a big fucking deal. 20 million for a slasher, regardless of what the genre. It's like, whether it's Friday the 13th or Chainsaw, like that's a lot of ducats. 20 mil, yo. 20 mil is a
Well,
lot of money.
Jamie Lee Curtis has often said she won't come back unless like they offer her a fuck ton of money to do it because she hates these movies. So,
Well, she hates these movies, but she likes the checks. Look, it's a job. I mean, I don't think. I think it would be silly to pretend. Do you really think everyone in the Avengers is a diehard comic book fan?
Dude, not only that, she's a grandma
Really?
now. Like she's
Yeah,
like 60 some
she's in her
years old.
60s. Yeah, yeah. She actually in 2018 she set like a record. She was the first woman over 60 to have a movie open with this kind of box office. Like it's never
Wow.
happened before.
that Activia shit really works, man.
Yeah, and she's kind of a dick, but like she's had she's fucking Laurie Strode. She's Laurie Strode forever. I mean, she's Laurie Strode forever. Like it's never going away. Embrace it. She's embraced it. She's come back. She never had to come back. Most people leave this genre and don't come back.
Well,
That's just
let's
a
also
fact.
remember when she came back in 1998, her career wasn't going so hot. And I don't think she had a whole lot
No.
going on this time around either. So,
Well, in the early 90s, she had that Schwarzenegger movie, which was like one of the biggest movies of the decade. That
True Lies?
True Lies. Yeah,
True
yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, I mean, like, and she was already like a kind of like a middle-aged person, and there she is in her drawers, like fucking people are just like drooling over her because from the neck down, she looks like she was built in a fucking lab. So yeah, and then she got the Activia fucking money, and her husband is Christopher Guest. He's like maybe one of the most prolific fucking film directors of all time, like low-key comedy film directors ever. I mean, ever. The guy's never made a bad fucking unfunny movie. So it's just I don't know that she needs this.
no.
You
And
know,
she
it might-
said she'd like donated to charity or something anyway, but they still
Yeah,
have to
she's
throw
not,
something at
you
her,
know,
yeah.
and she's Hollywood royalty. She's Tony Curtis. I mean, she's born into this business. Her father was a lot like a fucking icon,
Mhm.
so she's been around. I mean, her mother was an icon, her father was an icon. I don't think she needs the money, dude. I don't think this is a money grab. I just, it's nice to get the money. I don't think it's a money grab for like Danny McBride or Jody Hill, Jody Hill or what's his name, Gordon Green.
David
So-
Gordon Green, yeah.
David Gordon Green. Now, didn't he just get another franchise? Did they just give him something huge?
The Exorcist.
Wow. Okay.
And after seeing this, like I'll excuse this because it's
Yeah,
Halloween.
I mean everybody. Yeah,
but like The Exorcist, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll give it a shot. Look, it's not like we all ain't gonna fucking see the third one.
Oh no,
Everybody-
for sure.
We're all gonna be like, okay, I hope it's better than the second one. I hope it's more like the first one. We're all gonna see that shit. Everybody's gonna fucking watch it. I'm disappointed. I think it could have been better. I don't understand these choices. I don't understand some of the casting. It's dialogue poor. It's casting poor. It's pacing poor. But I could say this: I like the way it was shot. It's a fucking good looking movie. Like the tone, like the color, all of that is fucking beautiful. The violence is like Ichi the Killer level fucking violence. The violence looks real. The practical effects are ridiculously good. The brutality is off the charts brutality. But the choices were bad. And I think people are upset with some of the choices. I 3 needs to be like a knockout punch. I have a feeling 3 we're going to find out that Laurie Strode is his sister, and we're going to get some type of supernatural explanation because we've now left that realm, which is weird too because they spent one building that he's just a man realm to the second movie where clearly he's no longer just a man. And I know they talk about it at the end, but it's way past that should have been said at the beginning.
Well,
That
the
should've
hard
been
thing,
not the
it
end.
should have. And the hard thing is, it is kind of an abstract concept because it's like, okay, well, he's a guy, but he's evil, and he's not supernatural, but he is. It's so bizarre to drag that out over 3 movies is very difficult to do, which
Yeah.
is why the other sequels haven't fared so well doing that. So,
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, but they leaned more into the supernatural though, Bisho. That's the thing, because how else could he have survived?
That kind of threw me off too, them really focusing on the supernatural aspect of it. Because I haven't seen all the Halloween movies, so I'm not sure if that's like a pattern that they've used in movies. I thought he was a regular dude that just like could be killed, and then they
Would you
stab him to
prefer that
death.
he's a regular dude who
Yeah, I
just
would.
doesn't
I
feel
would.
pain and just keeps coming at you, or would you
Yeah.
rather him be an unkillable demon who just keeps waking up after you cut him up and he comes rejuvenates
No,
you?
because there's no. I mean, you become an unkillable demon when that's part of the story. In the first one, I mean, he was just a regular dude. There was no. I don't
I
know.
think that's the scary part is the regular dude, because the
Right.
supernatural thing you could shrug off. It's like, bah, that's not real.
Right. Once you incorporate the paranormal aspect of it, you make it a movie. When it's just a serial killer, you're like, oh shit, this could happen. Like this is a person with just a fucking.
So, do you guys disagree? I think we're gonna find out Laurie Strode is his birth sister, and that's why. Because otherwise, what's their connection? There's no connection now. She just survived. Other people,
but there
survived.
wasn't, and that was one thing that I kind of actually liked that they did at the hospital. She's freaking out, like he's coming for me, and it's like,
and I'm the only one who could stop him. Okay, why have we examined why this is?
No, it showed like her paranoia. She's like, he's coming for me, and at the same time, it's like, no,
okay,
bitch,
that's an
he's not.
interesting idea.
He's going to his house and he's killing everybody.
Yeah,
else.
he completely forgot about you.
Yeah,
he forgot about you.
Yeah.
He's just not that into you.
Nope.
He's
And at the end of the
into it.
movie, he's fucking looking at his masterpiece. Like
Yeah.
to me, that made sense with the connection of, because I know I was talking to Sam. Shout out to Sam from Red River and Playing Dead.
Oh, of course, we love Sam.
We were talking about this in Brooklyn, and he's like, "Well, without the connection, what's his motivation?"
Exactly, and that needs to be explained. I think it will be for sure, Brian. I definitely think in the third
I
movie
think
it's
it
gonna
will be, but it's
detailed
also the
explanation.
old Carpenter mindfuck of he's just crazy and he's evil and he doesn't have it.
But
I
that
don't know
doesn't
if
work with
works.
the super. But do you see what I'm saying? But with the supernatural, that doesn't work anymore.
I get it.
Like, I think it's just gonna be like he was possessed, and like, it's gonna be like something demonic, and that there's a solution to this, and there's only one solution. And the more he kills, it did seem like the more he killed people, the more omnipotent he became, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is he fed off of it and grew. I think it's going to be more of like a Nightmare on Elm Street type of thing, where once they give up that anger and they give up that grief, then his evil will die, which will also maybe be kind of lame depending on how they play it out. But I don't know. That's how I read it. I might be way wrong.
Well, supposedly the movie comes out next Halloween. Do you guys know that? I don't see how it's possible.
They're starting shooting like in the next month or two.
I think the 2018 version was much better. Like that
Much
one,
better.
I actually enjoyed.
I'm gonna
This
rewatch it.
one-
I'm gonna rewatch it this weekend for Halloween. You know what I might do, guys? I said to my brother Mike today. I said I think I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna watch OG, then I'm gonna watch Rob Zombie, the first one, and then I'm gonna watch 2018. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Because I like Trick or Treat, the movie. I like some other Halloween kind of movies, but you got to watch Halloween on Halloween, dude. It's just like you can't. How do you not watch Halloween on Halloween? Like,
Dude, I've watched one horror movie this whole month, and it's been Halloween Kills. It's the only movie I've watched.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only movie I've
Really?
watched.
That's fascinating.
I can't get into like watching movies. Like I don't know, man. I have to be like in the mood for it, or like if I don't know, I could watch it at the theater. It's hard for me to just like sit around and watch.
Well,
TV.
Shah, are you going to check out Antlers this weekend? They've been waiting for
not
that
this
movie for
weekend.
years.
No, not this weekend. I'm going out for Halloween this weekend.
Okay,
but
I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Probably next weekend.
I'm going tomorrow. I was going to go see something else. I think I was going to go see that Wes Anderson movie, but I could watch those at home. I don't need, like, I like Wes Anderson movies fine, but to go see a movie like that by yourself is kind of like, it's a little serial killer-ish. So, but I'm going to go see Antlers. I'm super excited for that movie. Do we have, sticking with the theme before we wrap up on this, do we have any Halloween recommendations? I actually watched a couple movies this week that I enjoyed. I went OG and I watched Q the Winged Serpent from 1981.
I love that movie.
I fucking love this movie. I forgot how fucking good this movie is. Like, it is if you've never seen Q the Winged Serpent, why it is such a crazy. Bisha, you've never seen it, right?
No, I have not.
It's fucking dope. I watched it and I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I forgot how much I liked the movie. That movie is batshit bananas crazy. You take the fucking the winged serpent out of it, it's still a crazy fucking movie. Like, I forgot how OG New York grindhouse fucking that movie is for sure.
Did it hold up well? I haven't watched
oh,
it in
100,
years.
100. Oh, dude, yeah, Bisha,
Like
you
the
would like
special
this
effects?
movie.
I can't imagine.
No, it's claymation.
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say,
fucking.
like-
Wow.
It's not even in the same screen.
Yeah.
But the New York 1980, 81, the cult shit, like all the crazy dude, fucking David Carradine's in it.
I was gonna
And,
say
Michael Moriarty. Michael Moriarty. Bisha, pull this trailer up. Just watch the trailer. Michael
If
Moriarty
it's on YouTube, I can't.
Oh, okay.
it'll ban us from YouTube if I do that.
Oh, is that how they roll?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the
for those who
algorithm,
haven't seen
man.
it, yeah, it's on Hulu. It's on Amazon. You can get it anywhere.
Can you
I'm
see
not
the
used to
screen
this
right
new
now?
world. Yeah.
Okay.
Richard Roundtree is in it. Like, oh my God, this is a good movie. I love this movie. I'm a big fan.
John Capodice.
Dude, this is
I
a
don't know how
great
to say the name.
1982.
Yeah. Wow.
Check it out. And I watched a movie called Come Play. Have you guys ever heard of Come Play?
I heard of it. I never watched it though.
Yeah. I liked it. Come Play was good. The monster is awesome in this. I don't even remember this coming out.
Oh yeah, this was in the theaters last year.
I don't remember it. I like dude. The monster is great. Look at the monster. The monster looks so good. And
Is
dude,
that
look
it?
at it. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude. When the monster finally shows up and starts walking around the kid's room, holy fucking shit! It's like it reminds me of Pumpkinhead actually.
Oh, okay.
Like
No kidding.
Pumpkinhead. Yeah. Look at the graphics on the monster too. Like the artwork. It's phenomenal. Not a great movie, but a great monster and a very good ending. I like the way it ended a lot. It's a very strange, dark movie.
You know what's
I liked
funny?
it.
I think that's one of the things that bugged me about a lot of the Facebook reviews I saw on Halloween Kills. Not to drag it back to that, but like you just said, not a great movie. It's a fun watch. There were a lot of people that were expecting this to be like Schindler's List level good, and it's like, guys, we're
Yeah.
watching horror movies. It's not gonna.
But yeah, but Bisho, watching horror movies that have a big budget, that
Sure.
have a lineage going back 40 years of success of overwhelming cult success, backed by very big names in the movie industry.
True.
Playing off the fucking cult following. So you have expectations. This is a good little movie. I recommend it if you've never seen it. And by the way, Shah, I'm going to have to call you on the carpet here. I watched VHS 94. I liked it. I didn't only like one story. I actually thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, dude, can you go back to that picture real quick though before? Go on the one where he's poking his head out of like the window or whatever. Go down a little bit more.
No, down another way. He has
Yeah.
no nose. Look at that.
Right there. Yeah. Click
Holy
on that.
fucking shit.
Tell me this doesn't look like one of the members of the band Ghost.
Yeah, it looks like Papa Emeritus from Ghost,
Yeah,
the singer. Yeah,
the makeup and all that shit.
Yeah,
Was
dude,
there-
this is a creepy monster. I'm telling you, I like the monster. It's worth it just to see the monster.
Is Ghost any good? I hear people say it is.
Not my
but-
thing. Not it's super over, super huge.
Never
not
heard
my
of the
thing.
song.
Super huge.
Okay.
Super,
I heard
super,
it's
super.
like Molgoth horror or Molgoth metal or something like that.
Very enormous band. Like fucking like huge band.
Well,
Like-
yeah,
like-
fucking Vampiro dressed like Papa Emeritus when he fought fucking Pentagon, I think, in the death match.
Yeah, they've been big. It's not my thing. I know people really into. There's different versions of Papa Emeritus, but it's all the same dude. But it's a character. He's different. I mean, it's a great gimmick right there, dude. It's a fucking awesome gimmick. The music, the curtain don't match the drapes for me with this group. That's the problem. It's like I see this, and they should sound like Cradle of Filth, or some shit, and they just don't.
Right.
But this is enormous. This is an enormous group now. Enormous. I think there's figures of him actually. Oh, look right there. That's a statue of him. I mean, dude, it'd be a good character in a movie, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's the same dude portraying different characters, saying, "Oh, we threw out the previous Papa Emeritus, so here's the new Papa." I don't know. I'm not, and a lot of people could be like, "You should know if that's true or not," because it's this is not in my wheelhouse of groups. But I love the getup. I just don't like I don't feel like the music is as good as the fucking gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
It reminds me of Kiss in a way, like along those same lines. Like the iconography is there, but the music is in.
Yeah, Nameless Ghoul, and like it's a cool gimmick for fuck's sake.
Yeah, the
like
gimmick is
Papa-
larger than the music.
Yeah, I assume it's the same dude just changing up. That's what I presume. I think they're pretty big on protecting their ID too. I don't know enough about it. There's way more people that are way more qualified to answer this than me. Way more people. And Vampiro is like Papa Emeritus, more like fucking Papa Cream Puffatus.
I thought you were gonna say
shit.
Papa Calzone or something like
Papa Calzone. I know a lot of people who are friends with Vampiro actually. But do you guys have any horror recommendations for people for the ghoulish weekend?
If you haven't seen the movie Cube, check out Cube 1 and 2. I think they're underrated. Not a lot of people have checked those out. You should
I
definitely
think
check
Cube's
that
got a
out.
cult following.
Yeah, I mean it's an older movie. A lot of people have kind of forgotten about it. So if you haven't seen it, go out of your way to check that out. I haven't seen this movie since I was like a teenager, so I don't know how it holds up. But if you want like, I don't know, a more mainstream horror movie, check out Darkness Falls. It's PG-13, so if you got
Yeah,
like
we've
kids, you could
recommended that
probably watch
before.
that. Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Darkness Falls.
I've
About a
seen it.
tooth fairy.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's got some cool
Kinda dope.
scares in it.
Yeah,
B
it's kinda
show,
dope.
do you have any Halloween weekend recommendations for the people?
Yes, if you're burned out by the Michael Myers Halloween, check out Halloween 3. It is an underrated gem, and Tom Atkins is the fucking man.
Mhm.
And I went old school this year. I watched the original Dracula. I've got halfway through it last night, and I watched The Mummy a few days ago.
Oh, you talking about the OG Dracula?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I thought you
1930
were
something.
watching the Bram Stoker.
No, which is a good watch anyway. But
Mhm.
no, I went old school, dude. I was watching because they're on Peacock, I think it is. So
Yeah, I think they might be on. Peacock's got some good shit.
They do. Brightest Frankenstein's on there.
Hulu's
All
got some
sorts of
good stuff too, by the way. Hulu's got some good shit on there.
I gotta check that out. But yep, I'm foregoing the traditional Halloween stuff and giving you those ones because I went old school. It's been a while since I saw them, and they're actually really, really good.
Now, have either of you checked out the Child's Play TV show that everyone is saying is good? I haven't heard a bad word about it from a single fucking person.
No, I have not. Like I said, I'm super behind, dude. I'm so behind on everything. It's like
Yeah,
crazy.
I haven't seen any of it, but is it called Chucky or is it called Child's Play?
I think it's called Chucky because interestingly enough, MGM owns the Child's Play name, I believe, except for sequels. So they went with Chucky with the rest.
Okay, that's even cooler. And plus they still have the rebooted franchise that they're using, right? So I guess that would be
Yes.
confusing to people. Does this mean that now is this the same dude doing Brad Dourif doing the voice?
As far as I knew, yeah.
Yeah, okay, because I haven't heard anybody replace it. I don't hate the Child's Play franchise. The reboot kind of bothered me a little bit. I saw it in theaters. I didn't really like it that much. I was a little like, oh, this was kind of a bad idea. But I heard this TV show is great. Everybody's blowing it up. It's getting good reviews. A lot of people watching it. It's very successful. It turns out it was a slam dunk for them to throw this on TV.
What is it on?
TBS. It's on right after AEW, actually.
Is it on TBS?
Wednesday.
I thought it was on USA.
No, is it?
Wow,
Oh,
that's
I'm sorry. I'm
interesting.
confused. I confused it with.
No, I mean
Yeah,
as far as
NXT.
apps, is there like an archived version?
Yeah, because it's on network. I don't know what app it's on. I'm gonna check it out this weekend. That was one of my things. I wanted to check it
Okay.
out this weekend. I know it's streaming. Who has it? Oh, click on where can I watch that Chucky? I want to see no, it says right there. Yeah,
Where can I watch that, Chucky?
Hulu. Okay, so
Wow. Hulu Live.
Okay, yeah, Hulu
Damn,
Live.
that's the one I don't have anymore. Fuck.
Wait, so you can only get it, but if you have regular Hulu, you can't get it? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I can't find it right now.
I wonder if I can get it off Sci-Fi from having premium cable. That's what my next thing I'm going to.
Oh yeah,
You click-
dude.
Is
if you have
Chucky on
regular
Peacock?
cable-
You click on that. Is Chucky on Peacock?
Oh, shit.
Because NBC owns Sci-Fi. Oh, there we go. Peacock app. Boom. Cult of Oh no, all the Chucky movies. Okay, this is where it's getting confusing. All the Child's Play movies are on Peacock right now. Every single one of them. All of them are on there.
Did you like Cult of Chucky, the last one?
With the one with John Waters at the cameo?
No. Mental Institution.
I don't think I saw it.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. I like the one where Chucky gets married and has kids, and then he gets like a job, like he works in a factory. And you didn't see that one?
No.
And he starts like singing John Cougar in the car driving
Oh
home.
my
Was
God.
that you guys didn't see that one?
Oh, are you being serious? Is that Seed of Chucky or whatever with the Britney Spears
No.
cameo?
No, I'm not being. Britney
No,
Spears
but
is
no,
in a Chucky movie.
You asked. No, you're saying this jokingly, but they had a terrible movie called Seed of Chucky that was comical.
That's what John Waters is in.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love John Waters. He's great. He's probably just he probably did that for scale. He was like, fuck it, I want to be a Chucky. That sounds fucking awesome. I would love to do that shit. But yeah, that's for your Halloween pleasures, people. Check out some of your Halloween pleasures. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I'm gonna try to squeeze this in. God, it's a lot of stuff on the docket this weekend, huh?
I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Actually, Jessica and I didn't mean to cut you off. Jessica and I are actually going to a family Halloween party this weekend dressed as Chucky and Tiffany. So,
Oh, that's cool. Now you're going as Tiffany, I assume, right?
of course.
Because otherwise it wouldn't be funny. Like the joke would be is her going as Chucky and you going
Nah,
as
she would.
Tiffany.
Nah, she doesn't like going for that. I've gone as B. Arthur and stuff before, but she doesn't like to do that. I wanted to go as Morticia and Gomez with me dressed as Morticia, and she just shot it down completely.
My wife asked me because Edie's going as Tinkerbell, and I know this because she bought the shortest dress I've ever seen in my life to wear for Halloween, which we're all thrilled about. But my wife said something. She said, "What are you going to answer the door?" I said, "Larry David. I'm going to go as Larry David for Halloween. My go-to costume every year is Larry David. I'm going to put a sweater on. I'm going to put on a cardigan. I'm going to put the V-neck with the button-up shirt, right? I'm going to put my other glasses on, and I'm just going to be like judgmental when I give the candy to people. Now, did either of you see the new Curb?
Yes. And by the way, am I supposed to have a Halloween outfit for a Halloween party? I'm going
No.
to one, and I'm going to be like the only person that's like probably not
Go
dressed.
as a fundamental terrorist.
Just
Like
put
it's
a
a regular
headband.
Saturday.
Go as a 30-year-old
week,
Persian man who's taken
Go
up
as
CrossFit.
go as someone who wants to destroy the great Satan.
The CrossFit version.
Go as CrossFit fundamental terrorist.
CrossFit terrorist.
CrossFit terrorism. You know, you
don't
blow
have
something
any-
up. What you do is you blow it up. Then, because of the CrossFit, you run. You're not trying to get blown up. You run away.
You're
Run
onto
away.
something. You're onto something.
CrossFit terrorist.
You're the first non-suicide bomber.
Yeah, suicide bomber. I
Yeah,
want a
kill everybody else. I
CrossFit
wanna
CrossFit bomber. CrossFit bomber. You only kill the fat
everybody else.
people. Well, just kill the fat Americans. There's
Kill
there's
the
no
fat
shortage of
people.
them. Like 50% of the country's morbidly obese.
Jesus,
You
man.
go into business for yourself.
All right, well, it was nice being on YouTube. You know,
Come
got to
on. We're not trying to
respect
make.
it,
They'll keep that. Please, they don't even know we exist. Trust me, we're not getting any money for it.
bro. The algorithm is. Believe me,
When-
the
Algorithm?
is wild.
Go as
should I get-
algorithm.
When
The
should I cut the
algorithm is
Patreon, the free
wild.
feed off? That's a good question.
Nah, dude, I was about to go on a very inappropriate tangent. This is just what I do.
No,
But
but
I think I'm going to
asking.
go as
I'm
Larry
asking,
David.
should I cut off the free portion?
Yeah, definitely. They're not going to. They don't. Please, we're not on the radar. Trust me. That sounds like one of them good problems. That sounds like one of them good problems.
Well, until they delete your channel, you have like 50,000 subscribers or something. It's
Yeah,
not.
but I mean, at that point, what are they going to do? Go back? It's like, trust me, every week they're going to. But let me tell you something. This ain't the place to be if that's the case. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't restrict my shit. I don't. I think we learned that lesson last